What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, I'm here in Pittsburgh for the 2022 NPC Teen Collegiate Masters Nationals. I think this is my third or fourth trip here to Pittsburgh this year. We got a huge show this weekend. We started on Tuesday. It's run all the way to Sunday. We have the Pro Masters World Championships. Just a lot going on, very chaotic. But I wanted to make this video because I thought it was a good question, and I've actually gotten this one before, but this is from Richie. And Richie, thanks for the question, man. He actually sent me an email. I'm not going to say his last name because maybe he doesn't want to have his last name put out there. But Richie, you know it's you. So when you see this video, this one's for you. And he said that a Cali Muscle likes to promote the fact that protein shakes make you bloated and make you retain water. And he wanted to know what my take on that was. Now, I want to say that, first of all, the easy, quick answer is yes, Cali Muscle is correct. Now, let's elaborate on that a little bit because I think there's a lot more than just a yes or no answer, but technically, yes, you can get bloated from it, you can retain water. Now, that being said, there are different types of protein shakes. So if you have a vegan shake, probably not gonna retain water. If you have an egg protein shake, probably not gonna retain water. If you have some kind of milk, whether it's a milk protein or casein or whey protein or something like that, yes, you could possibly retain water from that. Now, I do believe that there's some people genetically that no matter how much they take in of dairy products, they just don't retain water. So, you know, there's going to be these outliers that'll be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I never retain water. It's absolutely true that some people don't retain water, but I'd say the majority of people do retain water. And again, like I said, if an egg protein you're taking out, you're not going to see the water retention. Now, it's twofold as to why you retain water from it. It's not just the milk products. So the sweeteners that are in these products also make you retain water. Now, I don't know. I'm a bro, so I don't know the science behind it because if you dig it up, everybody just talks about how great these sweeteners are and how amazing they are, and they do this. And then you find something bad about a sweetener, and then you get attacked by the people that love sweeteners. And they say shit like, well, it's bullshit, it's not real science, it's not a real study, yada, yada. Look, I can tell you from personal experience, and that's what bro science is, personal experience. When I started competing, you would keep dairy, whether it was milk products or cheese or whatever the case may be, usually milk products like milk, in your diet till about maybe a week out. When you cut that dairy out, you notice your body tightened up quick. And you weren't doing like extra cardio, it was just pulling that nutrient out, any kind of milk products, right? Your body tightens up. Now, at the same time, when you take in sweeteners, if you do a lot of sweeteners, so let's say you're doing 2 protein shakes a day, so there's sweeteners in that. You do a pre-workout, there's sweeteners in that. You do an energy drink every day, there's sweeteners in that. Maybe you use an intro workout, right? A flavored intro workout, there's sweeteners in that. So, and there's other things like diet soda. When you're, eating your meals because you like diet soda, there's no calories in it, there's sweeteners in that. So it's not really like, well, I had one diet soda and I bloated up, but you have compounding effects from taking so much of this stuff over time that I don't know if it's an inflammatory response. I don't understand pretty much how it works. Again, I'll read things that say this does this. I'll read things that say it doesn't. Everybody's fighting about it. From personal experience, the more sweeteners you take in, the more you retain water. Now, my wife had something happen in Mexico. I don't know if you guys remember this in 2015, where she liked unsweetened tea and she would like to sweeten it herself. So we were in Mexico and she didn't really drink sweet tea at home a lot. Maybe if we go out to a restaurant or something, she would get it there, but she was pretty much with water mostly. And I don't think, diet soda wasn't really her thing either. So she was pretty much drinking water with lemon in it or something like that. And she would have these little glasses because Mexico, they don't have like big glasses. They have like these little tiny glasses. So every glass she had, she would put a little sweetener thing in there. And I noticed like, for breakfast, she'd have a couple of them. For lunch, she'd have a couple of them. For dinner, she'd have a couple of them. I'm sitting there going, wow, that's a lot of sweeteners, right? And so when she got home and she stopped drinking that stuff and was just drinking water, she dropped 7 pounds. Like her face went from being puffy, which we noticed it was puffy, but we thought maybe because, she's so pale skinned, maybe the sun, she got a little sunburn, her body retained water from that. Like there was all these different things we were trying to pull off, but realistically it wasn't the sun, it was the sweeteners that she was taking. When she cut them out, she dropped 7 pounds that week. And after she's kept the sweeteners out of her diet, she looked better and she felt better. So I don't have to go any further than the things that I've personally seen getting ready for shows, where you cut out protein powders, pre-workouts, anything with sweeteners, diet soda. We cut all that stuff out, and you can watch your body just by cutting out sweeteners. You can watch your body tighten up. I have 2 clients right now that are here. One's in wellness, one's in bikini. We just cut today is Thursday. We cut the sweeteners on Tuesday. And, both of them are like, dude, I can't believe how much I'm tightening up just from cutting the sweeteners. And it is something that you don't think too much about because they're calorie free, and you go, well, there's no calories in them, so who really cares, right? But they do make you retain water. So if you have a protein powder that's got a sweetener in it and it's dairy, then yeah, you could definitely retain water. Now, also, again, there's gonna be those people out there, those genetic freaks, where they can do whatever the fuck they want and they don't retain water. Look, those are outliers, right? So you might have somebody, Kelly Muscle, great genetics, right? But even he's saying this, like if I have protein powder, I get bloated. So The water retention is one aspect of that Callie's talking about. The bloatedness. Now, bloated doesn't mean you're retaining water between your skin. It means your stomach is bloated. You're not digesting it well. Now, why is that? So here's where I kind of expose the supplement industry a little bit, which, hey, I'm not knocking anybody, and I don't know who does and who doesn't do this because I haven't checked up on them. But there are different grades of protein powder. Now, what I mean by that is you can get a whey protein isolate, which is the big advertised one. That's the popular one. You can get a 70, 80% grade, which technically is still whey protein isolate, but the grade on it means that it's a lot less digestible. So it's hard to digest. So it means that your stomach is bloated. But the price tag, and it's a lot cheaper when you buy something like a lower grade. But the price tag stays very high because you don't understand there's different grades. So you think you're getting the high grade, which is the one that's used in studies and all this stuff like this, and you're getting a much lower grade, which is not what they used in studies, and paying the premium price. And you have a lower grade with a bunch of sweeteners in it. Now, there's whey protein concentrate, which people look down upon, right? They want hydro whey, isolate. They want all this crazy stuff that they're seeing, advertised because this is more absorbable, that's more absorbable. Well, in studies with the real deal, yeah. But what you're getting on the market is not, but you're paying the price for it. So if you get a whey protein concentrate, which is a lot cheaper in general, but you get a higher grade, so let's you get a 90% grade whey protein concentrate, it's gonna digest way better, mix way better, taste better, even be smoother than the 80% whey protein isolate. So what's happening in this industry in general is they're finding a way to create more money without changing anything in there. What they're doing is trying to put the cheapest ingredients, leaving the label the same, and you don't understand the grades because you don't have to put the grade on the label. You just have to put the grams of protein in whether or not it's whey protein isolate or concentrate or whatever, right? So that's all they have to put on there. So you don't even know the grades. And I found this out again through manufacturing, where I manufacture my supplements for GIFD Labs. They tell me some of the things that are going on, and I already knew this. Steve Reeves from Reeves Nutrition used to make a whey protein concentrate. And he had these big buckets of them. It looks like something you would seal your driveway with, right? And buckets were like $50 or something back in the day. And these things mixed well, they tasted good, they digested well. It's whey protein concentrate. So when whey protein isolate was being pushed, that's when I started to ask Steve. I said, why don't you do the isolate? He's like, why? And he started telling me about the different grades and stuff because he was producing it. And he was like, you can actually get a better price and get better absorbability from a concentrate than some of these whey protein isolates that are on the market. He's like, if you're really going to get the high grade isolate that's maybe 90% or above, he's like, you're going to be paying like $100 for what you're paying $50 for to have the same exact effect. He's like, it doesn't do anything different. And I kind of thought he was nuts for a while, but the more I researched it, and of course being involved in producing supplements now, there's a lot of things that people can scam you on in these products where they could have, let's say, just for an example, there'd be like 4 different types of vitamin C, right? There's one that's like 10 cents, one that's like 50 cents, one that's $1, one that's $2, right? And depending on which one you put in that product, your profit margins are going to change. So a lot of people will put that 30-cent one in there, not 50 cent, 30 cent, and they'll charge the premium price like they put the $3 one in there because it just says vitamin C. They're not telling you what the grade of it is or how well it's absorbed or anything like that. So they're increasing the profit margins by putting the cheaper stuff in there, but putting on the label pretty much it's the same, and the consumer doesn't know the difference, and they're fine, it's completely legal. So although it's tricking the consumers and giving them a shittier product, it's not illegal to put vitamin C in the product and just say there's vitamin C in it. You don't have to say it was a vitamin C sourced from this. And I mean, you can, if you've got a real expensive vitamin C you put in the product and you go on there and say, hey, we sourced our vitamin C from such and such, it's the most expensive, most absorbable kind. That's one way to market it, right? Because you put it in there and you're going to have a high price tag. Now, the other way to market it is, hey, we have vitamin C affects this, that, and the other thing. They tell you like facts of it, but they're not telling you it's a vitamin C you can barely absorb. And they put it in the product. The next thing you know, you're paying a premium price for a product that's just shit, maybe even fucks with your stomach. But in the end, you're paying for something that you're not really getting, even though you think you are, and it's fucking legal. So, I don't know. I went a little more in depth than I think Richie wanted, but I hope this answers the question. So, yes, protein powders can cause bloating, can cause water retention, can cause digestive issues. But at the same time, you get a high grade one and you don't really see those things. But the amount of water that you retain, now, if you're doing a show, that's one thing. If you're getting ready for competition, you want to be as dry as you can, cut out the protein powders. But if you're just somebody that's like getting ready to go to the beach or something, if you have one protein shake a day and your stomach doesn't bloat from it, meaning you don't have like a hard time digesting it, there's nothing wrong with that. Keep it in your diet. The amount of water you're retaining is not even noticeable, as opposed to somebody that's competing. Like, don't even bother, it's fine. But if you're doing like 2 or 3 shakes a day, and then you're doing pre-workouts and all these things between the dairy, the low-grade dairy, the sweeteners, everything combined, they can really jack up your stomach. So be aware, guys. You got to know what you're getting involved in. And it's really hard nowadays because people don't talk about this stuff. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what companies do and don't do this, right? I don't check up on the companies. I just wind up finding out what's going on for manufacturing. And my manufacturer makes a fuck ton of companies. So they kind of feed things to me. Like when I made my multivitamin, they were like, do you want to put these herbs in it? And I was like, why would I put herbs in my multivitamin? It's like, because you can put 30 cents worth of herbs in it and upcharge $15. And I was like, holy shit. He said, yeah, people do this all the time. Do you want to do that? Like, no. So now I know why I see some of these multivitamins with like rose hips and all kinds of other shit in it. I'm like, why is that stuff in here? It should just be a multivitamin. And why is it $49 for a fucking multivitamin? Because the other shit, those herbs that are in there, which cost a couple of cents, they're able to upcharge. So be aware, guys. There's a lot of shit going on, a lot of shady shit. And I think that over time, you know, videos like this that expose that stuff, people ask questions. And when you ask questions, if you don't get the answers you want, something's wrong. You may want to think about using that company, using another company, and not using that company anymore. So hopefully this answered your question, and we'll do some more of these videos like this. You know, if you guys have questions like this, shoot me an email, biostraining@gmail.com. Ask the questions, because I think that, you know, just things like, you know, Richie asked me here that can spark more of a conversation than just bloating from a protein powder, can educate people a lot more into what's going on, because I forget about this stuff. Like, I've known this stuff for so long that I'm like, doesn't everybody know this stuff? And then I get an email like this and I realize, shit, no, people don't, but they need to know. And that's the best part, is people need to know. I have the information, I want to give it out. So just contact me at biostraining@gmail.com and we'll get it done. Biostraining@gmail.com. There it is. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. Biostraining.com is a blog. It's you're bloated from protein powder bicep or not, and we are out.